First of all, Nathan McAndew, a terrific day's cricket and getting to the close of day two. The game's in the balance again.
Yeah, it is. We sort of probably let the foot off the gas a little bit with the bat. We're in a position there to get a lead, towards 300 and beyond there at one point. And, unfortunately, set them still a very good total, no doubt. But, they batted well and we didn't bowl particularly well to start. So, we've clawed it back nicely and taken a few late wickets there, which were really important. But as you said, game's in the balance and still plenty in the wicket. So, we know that if we get the ball in the right area and put the pressure on, that there's definitely, we'll have the chance to take 6 wickets out there. But, as you said, game's in the balance.
We've heard from Emilio Gay tonight, and he was saying it's a sort of pitch you never really feel in on when you're a batter.
No, it's just the occasional one that's doing a bit, but it's sort of at times when it is doing something, it's doing too much almost to get the nick. It nips too far, or Ollie Robb got a few there at the end there to jump off a length, but obviously doing far too much to hit the stumps. So for the most part, it's pretty good, and then occasionally something just plays up, so that's obviously going to play in the batsman's mind. So you're probably always just waiting for that one to play up. But as we saw, we didn't bowl that particularly well. We probably got a little floaty, or myself definitely anyway. Gave them quite a few drive balls, which were a little bit frustrating. But we're obviously not able to take a couple of late wickets there, and I think if we can get a couple of early ones tomorrow, then hopefully we can get a roll on.
And a big wicket, that one of Emilio Gay, that meant a lot to you, Nathan, when you took that.
Yeah, he's a fine player. Played him a couple of years ago when I was here at Warwickshire. Played him twice, and he's obviously a good player. He looked in pretty good form earlier. He played and missed it a couple, but as we saw, the wicket was doing a bit. But he, when we missed, he hurt us. So I think that's probably the way you got to play on that wicket. The people who've scored runs have had that intent, and they've looked to, when it hasn't done anything, to capitalise and hit boundaries and try and put some pressure back on the bowlers.
So looking ahead to tomorrow, 140 odd needed to win. I mean, is it early wickets? Is that the key?
Yeah, I think so. I think just building pressure. I think we saw that last hour when we really just smashed away at the top of off. It was hard for them to score, and I think that's the biggest thing. If we can control our line length and make it hard for them to score, not give them any easy runs, then I think it'll be a tough chase for them. I think the wicket is clearly doing enough, and if we put the ball in the right area, with energy on the ball, then we should be able to take 6 wickets out there. If we let them off the hook and give them some boundary balls, then as we see on this outfield, it's rapid. If you bowl poorly, you can leak. So I think we've still got plenty of runs to play with, and if we bowl well, then I think it's in our hands. But we got to put them in the right area.
Can I just quickly about Sean Hunt? You talk about bowling well.
Yeah.
You've seen his development over the last 2 seasons. I think he's bowled really well out here today.
Yeah,
and indeed latterly last week against Leicestershire.
Yeah, he's bowled beautifully. He's had some patches. I still forget how young he is at times. Like he's such a big guy that you forget that he's 20 or 21. I can't even remember exactly, but he's bloody young. Yeah. And I look back to where I was as a cricketer at 21, and it was I wasn't playing first class cricket, put it that way. So he's had some struggles last week against Leicester with his no balls, but then obviously fought back from that beautifully and bowled a beautiful spell. I think he's a real talent. Left armers are always a luxury to have in your team, and he's got a real point of difference. And we've seen when he's on and has his tail up, he's a match winner. And as we saw, he bowled a beautiful spell up the hill there. Had great rhythm and obviously took the big wicket of Shaw. So yeah, he's bowled beautifully in patches for us against Yorkshire, last week against Leicester, and again today. So yeah, really unlucky to only have 1 wicket to his name as well. There was an unfortunate drop. It would have been a hanger from Simo, but he bowled beautifully and could have easily, it was the kind of spell, the kind of quality in that spell, he deserved to have easily had 2 or 3 wickets with how well he bowled. So hopefully he can rest up well tonight and repeat that again tomorrow morning.
Just one final question, Phil. Looking back on last week, you played a lot of cricket. If you've ever played in a game like that and you took that final wicket, I mean, it was just an incredible game of cricket.
Yeah, it was bizarre, to be honest. I think, I think we had a regrettable hour, put it that way. We had some plans. I still don't know how we didn't take a wicket with that bouncer plan, to be honest. It obviously leaked a lot of runs, so people will say it was the wrong plan. But, the amount of top edges that went over the keeper and whatnot, I still don't know how one of them didn't go to hand. But it was just one of those games. Hove can be a small ground, as we know, and there was a small side. The spinners were bowling to that short side, which we had so many runs to play with. It was just one of those things where it was like, well, it doesn't matter that he's hitting sixes. One of them's going to go to the fielder, and it just didn't. He kept going, and it was incredible striking from him. But we also fielded pretty poorly. There were a couple of drop catches and some tough ones, no doubt. But we pride ourselves on our fielding. We've got some really good outfielders, and we probably let ourselves down in the field a little bit last week, and that helped that momentum with him. But if we had taken our chances, we could have wrapped that game up a lot quicker. That's for sure.